All right, everybody ready? What's good? And welcome YouTube. It's your boy vexyz, the lurking legend. Y'all can just call me Vex. We are here with another installment of the Scarlet Pirates, One Piece D&D campaign set in the North Blue 24 years ago, just after the execution of Gold Roger. We are fresh off the SBS, starting a brand new post arc / new arc today. So we are super excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check the description and look at all of the rest of the last arc D&D groups. Make sure you hop in vexyz Lurking Legends, a new Discord that I have. Be part of the first 100 to join, get an exclusive role, and access the VIP lounge. Shout out to all of those of you who are in there already. We also want to make sure we give a huge shout out to the last arc for organizing all of this. Thanks, guys. And then we are going to get right into introducing our players. We are joined tonight by the W Helmsman himself. We've got Davos, piloted by Torimori, aka Mikey D. How you doing tonight, man?
Yo, I'm doing great. Super excited to see where our adventures are going to take us next. Hope everybody's doing great today as well. I see you guys in the chat getting us started today. Thank you for joining us.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. I'm super hype. And next up, it seems we have the frontline combatant of the last arc himself. We have our first mate of the crew. We have NoChill Dill, piloted by Dill. No relation. How you doing tonight, man?
Doing pretty good. How's everyone in the chat doing so far? I'd love to see all of y'all in here.
Vibing. But yeah, so I'm super excited, much like all of you. And yes, like Lucas said, make sure you like the stream. That would mean so much to me to help make sure that this gets out to as many wonderful people as possible. Next up, we have our Partypete, aka Percules, piloting Bang D Boom, the resident runner of pockets. How you doing tonight, man?
Grand Rising, my brothers. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. You know, living the dream as always. Ready for another session. Enjoyed the SBS last week, but ready to get going.
Oh yeah, SBS was actually a wild success. Like, it really warmed my heart to see everybody having fun and hanging out and whatnot. So major shout out to all of you again. Next up, we have our brother in arms. We have Lord Azrael himself, piloted by the Gate Guardian, by the Goat, by the Lord Vegeta, by Ragnar himself. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm alive so far. Nice to see everybody here. We'll find out if this is my last session or maybe one of the most golden sessions ever. We'll find out.
We shall. We absolutely shall, and I'm super excited about that. Potentially. And then last but absolutely not least, we have piloting the future queen of the pirates herself, the captain of the Scarlet Pirates, Scarlet, piloted by Balincc.
Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up, chat? I'm excited for the session today, bro. I can't wait for this arc, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm extra hyped for this arc.
Yeah,
everybody having a nice day.
I'm absolutely hype as well. Just a bit of a recap before we get too into it is the Scarlet Pirates had gone on they actually went to slide for Davos, thinking that he was kidnapped by the Glass House bounty hunters, and had ended up tearing a straight beeline through the Red Sand Desert to go mess these dudes up on their home turf, and mission accomplished. They have climb through the whole of the Red Spine, taking out operative after operative of this ring of bounty hunters, and until they had snuck in and infiltrated into the home base of the glass house itself, and taken on a very, very, very powerful and influential figure in these parts, apparently, Malcolm Gilderoy, who yeah, rip to that guy. But crazy fight, really, really awesome stuff. It was this is a string of like, I think I counted out how many hours that whole like string of sessions was, and I'm not even gonna lie, I think it was like longer than an actual full season of One Piece, which is crazy. Like, I mean, not like a Dressrosa season or anything like that, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. And about a week has passed through all of that since the last time that they were just chilling at Port Scarletta, as it is now known, and they had gotten their way back and also brought friends with them, the nomads, the friends that they made along the way, as well as Holly, who is kind of like a hostage. but we'll unpack that a little bit later as well. And they had made an agreement to go and salvage the tourbillon, a several 100-year-old gyre, like a torrenting, like a whirlpool that is like multiple dozens of miles wide, that Lord Azrael had decided to launch himself out of a cannon directly into. Yeah, crazy stuff. And so before we get back to Port Scarletta proper, we're actually going to spend a little bit of time with Lord Azrael, as at the end of the SBS last week, it was confirmed that he did in fact die in the being consumed by a massive, gigantic Leviathan monster, Neptunian, proper sea king of kings, massive beast, like huge gaping maw, devoured an entire shipwreck whole without even chewing, basically. He did in fact die, and then he was promptly defibrillated back to life by, I think I said like 500,000 volts of electricity. And here we are inside the belly of the beast. Ragnar, Lord Azrael, is in immense pain and is suffering from several levels of exhaustion as he is shocked awake. The entire massive corridor chamber that you're in, several football fields long and wide, but you can tell that there is no sky above you where you're at right now. You seem to be inside of something, and your memory might be a little bit faint, and the entire corridor is just lit up for just a split second as you can see volts of electricity coursing through all of the water that jolts you back to life. Your heart is racing, and every single muscle in your body is aching. What's the first thoughts that come through your head?
I'm pretty sure I saw the lights of Davy Loans just now. Where?
You can see crawling towards you, slopping across the shallow water, as this half of the shipwreck stays afloat, is one of the lamprey that was fleeing, like, as you were hiding, and it seems to be cut in half and flailing about the sloppy bits of the deck here that are splintering and whatnot, and it's just trying its damnedest to get closer to you so that it can potentially get enough sustenance to survive.
No, you don't. Flintlock. Papa.
Oh my goodness. Let me see you roll an attack, brother. Keep in mind, you are heavily exhausted, and we're using the exhaustion system from 1D&D, in which for each level of exhaustion, all of your D20 tests, which are attack rolls, saving throws, and skill checks, suffer a -1 penalty from what they would normally be.
Oh.
Just to add just to add a little spice to the occasion, if this wasn't interesting enough, he is crawling as parts of your some of your limbs haven't quite awakened yet, and you could feel yourself almost, you know, like limp noodling, like dead weight, you know, almost as if you were like being magnetically pulled to like down, like it's your body is much heavier than it has ever been in your past, and you've fallen through terminal velocity. You know just how heavy your body can get.
Let me ask you a question, Rex.
What's up, bro?
Is a 1,000-year-old herb gonna help in this situation?
I mean, sure, worth a shot, isn't it? You did shove a lot of those into your mouth before all of this occurred, and you have also prayed, and that religion check, as well as you consuming a lot of those herbs and having them tucked away into your mouth, might have been the things that have actually allowed you to be brought back to life.
Okay, so, well, just to be clear, I'm pretty sure my character does not know that I'm inside the beast, right?
You can roll an insight if you'd like. Let's find out.
Let's find out if I think I'm feeling like this
He's
is
just
dark ocean.
shooting his oh god. So that's a 2. Yeah, you don't really. It's your exhaustion.
So I roll at disadvantage, and I have -4.
I don't think you rolled at disadvantage. You don't have to roll at disadvantage. You just have that's just like the first dice that rolled. Either way, if you had a you know, regular or disadvantage, it's still the first dice is the 6. -4 from the exhaustion. Yeah, so
I was wondering.
you are not immediately aware that you don't recall, you know, where your current whereabouts. You've been on the White Sea before. This is more akin to like a pitch black ocean, and like you said, you like I said earlier, you could see parts of the water illuminating with electrostatic voltage, you know, in the distance, you know, every like 30 odd seconds, you know, you could see bits of light, but it quickly is like, you know, stomped out amidst all of the darkness that surrounds you in every direction. You have dark vision, so you're basically seeing all of this in grayscale, like in black and white. Vision. Yeah.
Okay. For the first time, unfamiliar waters. Well, first time in a long time. How about these weeds on the ground? Any use to them? There seem to be some.
You see like some seaweeds that are extremely waterlogged, soggy, and there's like some algae caked onto the planks of petrified wood around you. The wood is very fragile, and you can feel some of it bowing beneath your weight, just as is as well. But yeah, there's some seaweed and some algae, you know, floating around. You give me a nature.
Come on, nature, I believe in you.
The suspense. Did you roll it off your wrong device again?
Yeah, I did. I did do that.
Oh my goodness. Let's go. Okay, so that's a flat 10 on the nature. You do gather, and also if you have disadvantage turned off or turned on for whatever reason, you don't have to have that on there. So you could just roll flat. I don't know if that's what. Okay, yeah, you don't have the query up. It's fine. So yeah, with a 10, you're able to recognize that some of this is absolutely protein rich. You would be able to survive off of, you know, just it and maybe a few other sources of nutrition. There seems to be a lot of it around as well, but you don't think that it itself would be good for medicinal purposes, just for like sustaining, you know? And while you're looking around, this thing is just like below deck, just like kind of like squealing, and like it's slightly above water, so it's like you could hear it a little bit better than like when you're completely submerged, and it's just making this unpleasant like noise. It seems to be like screaming in pain as it's losing blood. It's black, like thick blood is like eking out into the shallow water, consuming the bottom half of the deck here. You also feel for a second as if left is trying to become right, as the entire area around you seems to shift, and the ship itself is thrown about amongst the water. You could feel like a strange gravity, like as if you were like upside down before and now you're right side up, and like maybe that like the laws of physics themselves are betraying you. It's like you get like the, you know, like maybe like the butterflies in your stomach, which I don't think Lord Azrael ever gets those, or maybe he's chasing after them always, you know, I don't know, but it's a bit of unease. I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe for you that's like,
since I'm a doctor and a scientist, I'm going to try to practically write that down as exhaustion, dizziness, and maybe damage to my ears. My cochlea seems to be off balance.
Yeah, you experience like vertigo, like for a bit, and you could see everything around like sloshing and whatnot as well. Like it's not just your body that's feeling like it's on a roller coaster. The entire ship beneath you, and like waves start to form in this like black ocean around you as well. And that is going to throw one of these other lamprey up on top of the deck of the ship, and it's just like flailing
Whatever
around
under my foot. I'm just gonna push it over so it knocks it over. Whatever this thing is right here.
This is a broken mast.
Oh, damn.
It's just like kind of magikarping around on top of the deck right here, just flopping. You don't know how many dozens or hundreds more of them could be down below.
Oh no. I'm not shooting that gun. Right, so here's my idea right now.
What's up?
I still have the cactus needles. I want to acupuncture myself.
Okay. With what as your goal? Like just recovery, or maybe like pain relief?
Forcefully release some dopamine and some endorphins in my body, you know, so I could maybe lose one of these exhaustion levels.
Okay. You have 1 HP. You have 4 levels of exhaustion. You have no spell slots left. You're suffering a penalty to all of these checks. You have no more rages. You have no more experimental medicine.
Nope.
So you are literally at the end of your rope.
Pretty much.
You feel like a candle burning at both ends right now. Go ahead and roll me a medicine, which you are very good at, but you are suffering from exhaustion. So let's see. I'm going to say that the DC is 13 for you to get any results whatsoever. If you're trying to stave off. Yes, they're kicked in. So you have advantage. So you have advantage to stabilize, but you do have expertise in general. So I think this will be a flat roll, right?
Yes, it would be a flat roll.
So the DC is 13 to get any effects whatsoever. If you're wanting to stave off a full level of exhaustion, the DC is going to be actually a little bit higher than that. It's going to be 17, which is possible for you.
Just because the -4, technically, I need to roll at least a 17, right?
So this the 17 is after the -4. You'll get some effect if you beat a 13, after. So if you roll a 17 on the die and then the -4 hits, you hit the 13 mark. But you'll actually need to roll like a 21 on the die for the -4 to get you to a 17. Yes, it's possible. It is possible.
It is possible. It is possible. You're right. It's possible. It's possible. All right.
It's also possible for you to. It's also possible for you to roll very low here.
That one. Yeah. It's possible I roll in that one. You're right.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Bro, I don't even have a med kit, chat. I don't even have a med kit. I'm a doctor.
Yo, dude. This is crazy. Hey, so that is not a critical failure, but you notice that parts of your body seem to be unresponsive. You're sure based off of your skill that you did the correct procedure, even though it's like second nature to you at this point, like breathing. You didn't fuck up, but you are concerned if potentially certain parts of your body might be experiencing hopefully temporary paralysis.
Give me a second. It's been a while since I've actually read my class, guys.
You're good. What's your passive perception as well? I could look at that if you are looking at something else. Give me a second. Passive perception is a 13. That's exactly what I was looking for, actually. You're able to see through the cracks of the floorboard that below you. Some of your previous inventory contents that are no longer in your inventory, like the glass lance is shining below deck.
I thought I left that. Oh, salvation.
You'll notice that this gives you hope that maybe some of the other things that were previously in your inventory are also scattered around somewhere, although you don't really even fully recall what all you had. But yeah, you're noticing a few objectives ahead of you. You obviously need to survive. You obviously need to find some way of treating yourself and staving off any of these lamprey or hagfish that could be lurking around. You need to recover some of your items and that might have been lost throughout all of this, as well as put back the pieces of your memory as far as what happened, where you are, and how you can get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna now ask for 3 consecutive survival rolls, and based off of the average of that, we will see what happens.
Get ready for the nat 1, guys. It's coming. I'm telling you right now. I can smell it.
Oh my goodness. Well, it is an average, so a nat 1 is not an instant fill. Jesus. Okay. Okay, so that's a 20, a 14, and a 12. That is interesting. You're actually, that's phenomenal. That is above average, absolutely. We are going to see what happens with that after we touch base with the rest of the crew. This is maybe a day or so later. We are going to the nighttime Port Delphina as the ground team arrives back at their destination after a long and, for some, a very exhausting trek through the Red Spine. And we are brought to this massive map. Let me make that fit for the rest of the chat. Ground team, you will see your tokens at the very bottom. You see that the area is much more well lit than before, as there seems to be light coming out of a brand new building that you remember being a construction site before a week ago when you left.
I guess that old man actually did it. He
You
finished
see.
it.
Yeah, looks pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah, you
Well, I hope he's
hear
got alcohol inside. I'm tired.
you hear a bit of a hum coming from the windows and the door that in that general direction. You see no ships except for your own here in town. The rest of town looks pretty empty. Nothing majorly different except for it's not covered in scarlet this time around. You don't hear anything coming from the old bar. There is like a light coming out of it, but Samia immediately is just like, kind of like her and Big Azra are just kind of like stretching, and they're just like, ooh, that was fun. Yeah, we aren't that familiar with the red sand, but that wasn't that bad. I think that was actually easier than the white sand desert, right, Samia? Oh yeah, for sure. We didn't have to keep track of anywhere near as many antitoxins. And they feel completely fine. They're not exhausted whatsoever. Well, as I think both Brother Dill and Brother Davos are both completely wiped out. Like,
Yeah, I'm just gonna, at that comment, I shoot Dill a look, and I'm just like, tomorrow thoughts.
Big Azra.
Tomorrow I'm sleeping.
Yeah, Big Azra claps Dill and Davos both on their backs, dealing 1 point of incidental unintentional damage, and he's just like, yeah,
You know what?
it's not so
he
bad. Oh my goodness.
No,
Yo,
he doesn't.
I got
Perfect.
nothing.
so Dill just like jukes it, and Davos gets the full clap on his shoulder that resonates through down his whole spine, it feels. And Big Azra's like, yeah, once there's all those pesky bounty hunters are out of the way, the Red Sand Desert's not so bad. That was a cakewalk. And he like cracks his back and his knuckle, like it is like his neck and everything, and he's just like, hey, what the heck is that? And he looks at a large structure with the light emanating out of its windows and stuff like that. He's like scratching his head, picking his nose a little bit. And Samia is just like, oh, that must be where the others are at. And she kind of like looks around. And she like looks at the building that her and Lord Azrael were using as their laboratory. And she notices that Harry is not guarding the door. but above is perched the bird that the air team had rode in on, that the Rustwing Falcon that carried the rest of your party here, giving you reassurance that they have made it.
Well, Harry's not watching the door. So someone must have given him the order. That means Scarlet and Bang are back. If they're anywhere, they're at the place where noise is coming out of, so that'd be where I'd say we should go.
Safe bet.
Yeah.
Holly is like snoring a little bit, as she has also been significantly exhausted from this voyage, even though she didn't even like step foot on the sand, and Rocky B carried her the entire way. She's not a fan of being like, you know, sunbaked and away from water for as long as she has been. You can even see like a layer of like red like skin on like her extremities, like the tip of her nose and the tops of her like arms and things like that. She looks a little bit striped and decorated at this point. And as Rocky B, you know, like sees a barrel of water over here, he's gonna like rush with excitement and like just like yeet, and she like plops off his back and like falls flat on the ground. She's like, what the fuck? And Rocky B tips over. Yeah. Rocky B tips over this whole barrel of like rainwater here, or like dew water, and he just starts like kind of like rolling around in the mud like he's a happy camper. Holly is just like whoa, oh, this place is kind of nice. And she's just like she like sniffs the air a little bit, and she's just like, oh, we're by water. And she kind of pulls in a little bit of moisture from the air and from the water barrel around her right here, and she uses like a little bit of like water, like a little bit of an inner tube, and it's like kind of floating around her, and it just kind of helps her balance better because she's still really shitty with her legs because they're brand new.
Oh.
And Azrael just kind of lifts his arms up. He's like, I think she's fine. Like, where's she really going? You know, like, and she like has her eyes on the coastline, and then she's just like, yeah, we made a deal. And I gotta talk to your captain. We gotta make good on this. This was not part of the plan.
That's where we're going.
She starts like she's about to go ask for your manager. She starts just making a beeline straight in between you two, and the nomads just both shrug. And yeah, you guys start making your way towards the bar. Any other immediate thoughts or actions as you guys are entering into town?
I need some alcohol.
Yeah, I'm too tired to think. I'm just heading straight in.
Let's go. All right. And as the door swings open, you are greeted with the familiar scent of strong booze and a sound of piano keys, you know, being pressed in such an order that unlocks core memories for some of you, as Binks's sake is playing in the bar as you guys enter. I'm sorry, roll 20 crash. Let's go. There we go. Well, that didn't work at all.
Yeah.
There.
Bangy boom vibing, you know.
He's vibing.
Oh man, seeing everybody, yeah, like Davos, maybe not literally a level of exhaustion lifts off, I guess, but like you could say metaphor. He just brightens up. He's like, okay, I can. This is more my vibe. It's good to see everybody.
And bang de boom. What are your first thoughts as you see the rest of the party minus Rocky B walking into the bar?
Oh, I'm just gonna raise a glass and say, hey, glad you guys could join us. How was the walk?
As I see Ben raise a
apparently-
glass, I run straight past to go grab my own. Go ahead, Mikey. My bad.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I'm gonna. Where's the dude that built this thing? Where's he at?
He's over here.
Oh, he's doing the bartender?
He's behind the bar, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna chop it up with him because I gotta talk to a man about a bear trap shield.
Yeah, keep in mind it has been about 2 days since you and Scarlet entered back into port, so you've had a little bit of time to recoup, a little bit of time to tinker away, and a little bit of time to talk with him a bit. So what did you want to talk to him about? We'll see if that could have already happened. You just like working on gadgets and gizmos and stuff?
Yeah, because I told Davos that I would upgrade his shield with that bear trap that he found. So I got some ideas for it, but just getting some expert opinion on that. Also, I gotta reinforce the ship so it's seaworthy for my good friend Rocky B.
We'll say that during the 2 days that you were waiting for the ground team, you and Jerry, that he had called himself to you while he was, in a drunken stupor many sessions ago. You and Jerry had mostly focused on just getting the ship to be fully amphibious. You remember the fan technology that you saw that like back when y'all were like approaching the glass house from that one like wrecked dinghy, and you're thinking about making that on like a much bigger scale. And so that's probably what you guys have focused on firstly for the first like chunk of time. And then you guys will be able to focus on any other gizmos and gadgets once that has had a little bit more finishing touches on it. Immediately though, Kama and Russ, the two gentlemen that they are going to stand up. And I'm on the wrong page. Let's go. They're going to stand up and offer their seats to the two ladies that are joining now, as Holly is like scanning around and eyeballing and looking at everyone, and she's just kind of like, and she doesn't look super comfortable. Samia is just like, relax, and she greets the other nomads that she hasn't seen in a little bit. Some of them a little bit longer than others, like Enid and Kama, and Russ is gonna like immediately go and find Brother Dill, because that's his homie, right? Let's see, Softy Boy and Harry. Yeah, he's looking around trying to find you. Samia is just kind of sitting down waiting to be served, and Russ is like kind of just like wandering around aimlessly, like, where is he, like, what's up? Like Harry and Softy Boy are extremely excited to see their W Helmsman return in one piece. He said it. He said the thing.
Roll credits.
Wow.
Dude, Davos is so jazzed to see them. He comes like in between them, puts a hand on each of their shoulders, and is just like, yep, I can see you guys held down the fort just fine.
They're both kind of like scratching their heads like nervously, and like, you could see them kind of like baring their teeth and like, yeah, we did our best. We didn't really make much of a difference though. It was Jerry who really held it down. We just did as we were told. And they both kind of nod, and you see like a bit of a camaraderie that might not have been there before between the two of them. You just kind of like instantly pick up on that.
Well, okay. What happened? What did we miss?
Well, And then from the corner over by Bang D Boom, Zara kicks her legs down from up on top of the table and stomps them down onto the ground as she leans forward, and she just goes, like, these fucking assholes decided that they wanted to, you know, try to take over the port, and they made pretty short work of each of us. Jerry's the only one who even stood a chance. He got him to run away.
You know, shout out my dude.
Okay,
Jim.
haha, call us assholes again. The whole antagonistic bit is really getting old, and I just had to trek through the desert. I'm
It's not you. It was these two dudes who came in. One of them said his name was Jolly. I recognized him a little bit from a bounty poster. And Sonia like pulls out her bag and like kind of like lays out like 2 bounty posters, and there are 2 notorious pirates that apparently had stopped into town.
Yeah, I'm a peep.
I'm actually
come over and check them out.
I'm actually forgetting what their bounties are right now. Give me just a second. But Dill, what are you doing as all of this is unfolding?
I'm ordering a giant container of alcohol from the bartender.
He just kind of looks at you. He's just like, hey, I'm keeping my eye on you. Hey, he's...
Hey, hold on. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
He's like, yeah.
I could pay for my alcohol then. I can pay for it now.
And he just kind of like smiles and like puts his chin up and crosses his arms and like gives you an ocular pat down. And he's like, first one's on me. But we're not making a habit of that. See, old bartender, he's not around anymore. So I figured I'd take up the mantle. It was always a dream of mine to hide away somewhere where I can just, you know, be this close to a bar top. And he like knocks his knuckles down on the wood beneath him, and he's just like, you know, for the rest of my days, nice and quiet. You know, I don't want any trouble.
No, you won't find any with me, as long as you still have alcohol.
That's the thing, though. He slides over a big mug towards you. People like you. Y'all attract trouble. I don't have any issues with you Scarlet Pirates, but I don't know if it's best for you to be hanging around here. You've seen the papers, right?
Huh? There have been papers?
He kind of like smiles and rubs his nose a little bit. You can see like the blush on his face kind of like fading away, and then he like takes another glug, and then it's like fresh and bright and red again on his cheeks. And he slides over a newspaper, and he's just like, y'all don't know it, but y'all made front page technically. And he issues or he slides you the newest issue of the World Economic newspaper. Real quick before we read that for the chat, Davos and Bang D Boom are staring over the bounty posters of Captain Jameson the Sandman Jolly, worth 50 million, and Rourke de la Garza, worth 44 million. One of them, Jameson, a slender looking fellow with a big grin on his face, white shoulder length hair, and a fedora, and he's wearing an eye patch over one eye. The other looking like a straight up luchador, like with a wrestler's mask covering his features, and you could just see like bright yellow trim on like a vivid like light blue, you know, like a face mask covering like his whole head.
Wow, these are the dudes Jerry ran off. Look at that.
Zara just kind of like looks the other direction and goes, a bunch of clowns. You know, if I had my other swords, I would have been able to handle him no problem.
Well, now that you mention it, I can't. Not like I can get your weapons back, so I don't think I'm going there. But we came across some interesting findings, in our travels, and I'm gonna give Sonia 2 of the glass flintlocks, and then I'm gonna give the glass cutlass to Zara.
Yeah, Sonia just kind of picks it up and she's just like, they're not quite as hefty as what I'm used to, and she starts twirling them around doing fancy like tricks and stuff like that, and she's like, I don't think these are gonna cave anybody's face in, but I can do some damage. What kind of ammo? And she just kind of like scratches the side of her head with like the barrel of a gun, and then Zara just looks at the table, at the weapon that you're sliding over, and she's just like, I don't use a cutlass, but thanks.
I mean, better than nothing, right? In terms of the ammo, you can draw by the forge. I'm going to be working on that. I found a lot of interesting types of glass, you could say, while we were there. So I'm going to try to put something together that might be good for those. Since you seem to be a gracious receiver of gifts, unlike someone else.
Zara just like crosses her arms and like flexes, and you can see her like bulging biceps as she's just like, yeah, I've been practicing on my no sword style. I'll stick to that until I can find a proper weapon.
Yeah, I'm sure that was my choice. Huh? Oh, never mind. But
bro.
But yeah, stop by for the bullets sometime. I'll be working on that along with some other projects.
Sonia shoots you the finger guns, and she's just like, "Hey, you're a real one. Thanks, brother." She tucks them into like some like empty holsters that she had, and they seem to fit, a little snug. She's used to revolvers, but flintlocks will do, Dalt Wisney and Holly are kind of like chit-chatting over here while Kama and Enid get the recap from Samia and the folk that and Big Azra right here, and they're just kind of like talking about all of the ventures, like yeah, you should have been there, like after the whole like landslide when we fought the Rust fellow, things got even crazier. He's like, we fought a whole stampede. He's like, I almost got knocked out by a giraffe. Like, those things hurt. Like, when they slap you with their neck, and like Big Azra just like does some unintentional damage to Kama, and Kama like, holding his drink, like spills a bit of it, and they're just having like a fun time. Enid starts, cracking up. Holly is like hearing about like everything that you guys went through secondhand over here. And you can kind of see her loosening up a little bit, as her like shoulder blades like aren't as like like close together. She starts to like like fix her posture and relax. You could see Captain Scarlet practicing on the piano, playing Binks' sake over in the corner, vibing on some cactus juice, I'm sure. And then we will go to see what is happening with Dill, who reads the paper. Jerry is sliding it on over after giving you like one of on the house.
Yeah, I already finished it.
Nice. And let me see. Sorry, my phone was on the charger. I will go ahead and read the World Economic Newspaper now. If you guys want to see these in real time as they update, you can also check out the link in the description for the TLA Discord. And check out the group 2 threads. September 29th. Big news! The 5 families of the West are at war. Missing merchant ships in the North. Germa Kingdom is expecting an heir. Folks, what a week it has been across the globe. We've seen increased tensions in the West for some time now between the 5 families. And this week, a shootout occurred at a business owned by the Lucianos. We heard rumors that there were no civilian casualties, and it was a targeted attack on the Luciano's second-in-command Romano, who is overseeing affairs while the boss recovers from a mysterious illness. Retaliation is all but guaranteed at this point. But with the surveyors patrolling the west right now, marine presence is at an all-time high. Things could get nasty. In other news, we've gotten reports that several merchant ships and one marine ship have gone missing near the Fool's Sea. Ferrum of the Tempest Industries suspected that someone was targeting his shipments until the Navy confirmed that one of their captain's flagships and crew have also gone missing. Commander Everett is launching a full investigation into the matter, but Captain Shivers has been out of contact and missing for over a week now. A memorial service for the entire crew of the settlement will take place at Portmanteau in 3 days' time. It seems Tempest Industries is interested in funding the investigation, opening the doors for more trade between Livneal and Akatsuki Archipelago in the future. In other news in the north, Germa Kingdom's royal family are expecting a baby. They're keeping the due date private, but by the looks of things, we should be seeing the birth of their firstborn in 2 to 3 months' time. Make sure to catch the next issue for more details. So, Brother Dill, what are your immediate thoughts?
Captain, they put us in the newspaper.
I'm gonna go over and see what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think as you do that, a few of the other individuals are also going to like head that way. Mostly the not the nomads, but the rest of the crew proper. You know what I mean?
Nomads are crew proper. What do you mean?
I said the rest of.
Yeah. But now I'm gonna read out the section about the missing merchant ships and the missing Captain Shivers.
Yeah, upon hearing that, I'm gonna grab the newspaper out of his hand and be like, wait a second, let me see that. And like look real close. And I'm just gonna get a worried look on my face. I'm gonna hand him the paper back.
Yeah, not only
What part of the paper got you worried that much, Bang?
Yeah, I kind of needed to talk to the captain.
Bang D Boom sweating over something in the paper, maybe a name that he saw, or maybe the fact that he still doesn't have a bounty. No, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that's something I didn't know. Is in this round of the paper, did we get bounty updates?
No, it doesn't appear so. The only thing that you see is the obituary for Captain Shivers and company.
I read it.
Yeah, it just says that there will be a memorial service at Portmanteau in 3 days' time. And this was yesterday's paper, so that is technically when you wake up 2 days' time.
Okay.
I'm gonna say to you guys, it's like, well, in my humble opinion, we should be getting ready to set sail relatively soon, right? You know, we got to wrap up this thing with Holly. That's on the other side of the island.
So yeah, speaking of, you should go get her so we can have her talk with Captain.
Oh yeah, let me see what's going on with that. But yeah, we should, you guys should definitely start thinking about us moving along.
Yeah. Although, before we can do that, we need to make sure we have enough alcohol that we can take with us. How about it?
Yeah,
Well,
speaking of, I could use a tall double right about now.
Jerry slides one for you and one for Bang D Boom across the countertop. And he's just like I told your friend here, first one's on me. I don't want any trouble here. And he like holds his hands up like he's like as he steps away, like he's just like, all right, I don't want any trouble, all right? Like,
no, don't be dramatic. I'm gonna go talk to Holly.
Where'd your hammer go?
And he like looks down to his belt, and he has like a little like a holster for it, and he like just like whips it out and just like starts like doing little flips and tricks with it, and he hits himself in the side of the head with it. He's like, oh, hey, I don't leave the house without that thing on me.
Yeah, keep that thing on you at all times. I understand. But yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Holly. Find out how her trip was.
Yeah, as you walk back over, she's getting in on talking about like the adventures, because they had caught her all up to the point where Dill and Big Azra and Davos and Samia came to recover her, and she's just like, I gotta say, you guys think camels are the way, but someone's got a good head on their shoulders. Riding on Rhino back, that's like the Cadillac of I don't fucking know if One Piece has Cadillacs, but she says that's the smoothest way to cross the sands, from my experience. And then she like turns around and sees you, and she's like, oh, what up?
Hey, you won't find any contest here. Rocky B's the best transport around town. I'm glad you enjoyed the ride. We're still good to conduct business, right? Or how was your trip over?
It's exhausting, but I mean, could have been a lot worse, I guess. And she's like not really like making a like direct eye contact or anything like that, as she like takes her hand off of the table and like she stands up, and she's just like yeah, let's we're a lot further away from the treasure than I wanted to be, but it does feel good to be this close to sea level again. I didn't really like it being up on those cliffs or in the middle of that desert. This is all right, I guess. And she's just like, but first place we have to go next, right, is back to the tourbillon.
Yeah, for sure.
She's like, all right.
Treasure sounds good to us, so.
And she'll start walking back over to the other half of the bar with you.
Great.
We'll pull her up over here somewhere. I'll clear these guys out. This guy just goes and chills over here. There you go. Some seats opened up for you guys. And as Holly like walks over back this way, she kind of like looks at Davos, and she sees him taking a big old swig, and she's fine. She looks at Harry and Softy Boy, and she gives him a little bit of a wave, and then she sees Dill, and she like crosses her arms.
I don't even notice her. I'm still asking Jerry for another round for all of us.
He's like, this one's gonna be market price, all right. And he like holds his hands up again, and he's just like, I gotta make enough to to re-up, right? Like,
market. You better not be marketing it up. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. He shakes his head and starts pouring another round for everybody. I'm assuming everyone's drinking ale, unless y'all want to be like your captain and partake of the cactus juice.
No, ale's good for me.
I'd rather have liquor than ale.
But yeah, Harry and Softy Boy are both just kind of like so who's your friend? And they kind of like close in a little bit to get a little bit of a tighter conversation going, because there is a lot of individuals around, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this is Holly. Ran across her in our journey to get Davos back, and she's got some information on what could be a pretty lucrative opportunity. So, at least for the moment, we're teaming up. So,
she's a pretty good swimmer too.
Right.
Pretty good. I'm probably the best swimmer in this entire ocean right now. Let's be real.
Well, it's not that hard to beat me because I can't swim. So.
Hey, I can swim pretty good for a guy with one leg.
she's like, yeah, I bet I could even beat your forearm friend, you know. And immediately Harry and Softy Boy are just like, Lord Azra, where is he? He's not. Is he? Did he go and see the lab? And like Harry is just like, oh, he's gonna be pissed. I'm not watching the door right now. But the bird, you know, like Dalt told it to watch for me. Captain said it was okay, and Harry seems a little bit nervous. Like,
You'll be
Hey,
fine, Harry.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro. You might not even have to worry about him, you know?
Brother is currently preoccupied, Harry.
Softy Boy kind of like steps forward and he's like, what does that mean?
Well, he took it upon himself to go investigate the tourbillon alone.
He's saying he shot himself out of a giant cannon. That's what he's saying.
Into the whirlpool.
Holly
Right.
spits up some of her like beverage as she wasn't told that whenever she got all of the y'all's exploits, you know, explained to her over at the other table, and she was like, you know, partaking of her first beverage here, and she kind of like spits up a little bit of the ale, and she's like, I'm sorry, what? I mean, taking on the tourbillon solo, I mean, that's not that big of a, but he shot himself out of that thing.
Yeah. It
Softy,
would have been easier if he just let the current take him, but I guess he wanted to get down there in a hurry.
Softy Boy is just kind of like sternly like looking directly at Brother Dill and seeing that you have a relaxed expression, and he just kind of like shakes off, you know, his concerns and goes, yeah, he'll be fine, right?
I think so. As I drink what Jerry gave me.
Holly like puts her drink down after taking another sip, and she's like, well, we should find out soon enough, right? That's where we're headed.
Right.
The tourbillon.
But that kind of brings us to the point. In terms of actual execution here, what are we thinking as a plan?
Well, I mean, I could do this myself. I just can't carry out as much treasure as I'm sure I want to. So really, I just need a little bit of muscle, and a ship would be nice.
Well, we have both of those things, but right now our best swimming muscle is, you know, lost at sea.
Well,
and
if
I would imagine the tourbillon kind of makes it tough to get a ship anywhere near there, right?
yeah, so there's a little bit of a
discussion with the captain.
Right, but I just want to make sure this makes sense, because I got to make sure the ship is ready for whatever we're about to do.
She's just kind of like looking at all of you guys, and she's like, okay, so which one of you guys is the helmsman?
I slapped Davos on the
And I
shoulder.
raised my hand.
And she's just like, okay, so all you need to know is the trick to beating the tourbillon is to just be faster than its rotation. You gotta sail into the spin, and if you're quick enough with your maneuvering, you'll be able to break out of it because you'll have enough forward momentum.
Okay. Sounds easy enough on paper.
Yeah, if you try
I'm
to
just gonna
sail
start,
against it at all, that's where you're going wrong. You want to go with it as far as you can until you've built up enough speed to break out of its, you know, like I have no problem, you know, especially like the further down you go, it's actually like a little bit more manageable, but the slopes of the surface, you know, ships don't do well with like what it does to the sea level. So you just have to make sure, try to keep your vessel as level as you can. You're going to have somebody really skilled working the sails, and you're going to need to maneuver like you've never maneuvered before when it's time to actually, you know, get out of there. But all you need to do is make sure you get enough momentum.
Yeah, I'm gonna start just like writing down some ideas about reinforcing the rudders and like the sails and the controls and stuff like that for the ship. It's like, okay, so now obviously any final decisions are going to be made with the captain, but considering how much more treasure we could allow you to extract from there, I mean, what are we thinking as far as a cut?
Well, nobody knows these waters like I do, or just water in general. I'm invaluable to this operation, and to saving your friend if you think that, he's fine down there. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out, but if he is fine, I should be able to get him out, and then he should be able to help me bring much more of the treasure to the surface, wherever you guys, end up. I think that only means, not only am I getting you to the treasure, I'm getting you out of the tourbillon. I'm the one who's getting the treasure and saving your friend. It's only fair that I get 80%.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I choke on the drink.
Jerry behind the bar is like, jeez.
Yeah, no, now 50% could be much more reasonable. Again, that would have to go with the captain, but you can't even.
First of all,
you can't even carry.
She gets low end of the deal. Second of all, Scarlet makes a decision.
Right, I already said
We
Scarlet.
don't do even splits here.
Right, but considering the cost and benefit of the given situation, hey, if we don't care about getting the fish stick back, I'm with you. 75% for us, and you can get 25%. That seems perfectly reasonable. But if you guys want the fish back, business is business,
At that, Davos is just kind of like mean mugging the bar top, and he like turns to Holly and he's like, whatever quote unquote my share would equate to, you can add to whatever percentage you all decide on. I don't want any of it, as long as you get Azrael.
Well,
She's-
Davos, how do we know that? We can make your share. We can make your share less. That way, she gets less. Thank you for volunteering, bud.
And she just like,
there's no need to cut your shares. We're all reasonable people here, I assume, right?
she like slams her mug down on the countertop, and she's just like, now see, he gets it. Y'all should be happy enough just to get your crew member back, right? And she's just like, the fact that you're getting any money out of it is me being generous. I think 20% is fine. Even 15 would be, like a good offer, but I'd be willing to go as far as 25% to you.
Right. I'm just going to look at her and be like, look, I don't care that much about our good old aquatic friend down there at the sea. And even if he is alive, he's probably good enough to get himself out of whatever situation he's in. So I don't see that as value added to our particular proposition. On the other hand, the existence of our ship allows you to double, triple, even quadruple what you could possibly haul out of there by yourself. You don't even have anywhere to store all of that treasure. It's not like it's going to show up in all one nice, neat package. So even if you took 80% of it, you couldn't take it anywhere. So let's be reasonable. We'll take 60, considering the labor, resources, and other things we'll have to do to put into it. We'll take 40%, and everybody walks away with more money than they know what to do with, right?
She crosses her arms and like furrows her brows a little bit, and she's just like, so me 60, y'all 40.
No. Again, there's costs associated with getting a ship from this side of the island to that side of the island, which you need to haul out a larger quantity of treasure, and so we're taking all of that cost and risk associated, with your aforementioned swimming skills, and so that has to be considered in the split. And so even at 40%, I would imagine that'll be more than enough funds for whatever you could be possibly dreaming.
I might be willing to go 50-50, but I get first pick.
So like I said, all final decisions lay with the captain. But I'm just putting you in the ballpark. So, whenever the captain gets here, we can make that final decision. But it sounds more or less like we got an agreement. So I'm going to make sure the ship's ready to go.
I just want you to know I'm putting my brand new feet down on this offer, and I won't budge from where I'm at. Whatever your captain says, it doesn't make a huge difference to me. Y'all are cooked without me.
Oh, what do you mean cooked? We could just go.
I don't know if you...
the 100% of whatever you would get without us won't be anything compared to the 40% you could have had. And I'm totally okay with that. We're not short on funds. We believe our friend will get out of his situation on his own. So really, we're just trying to help you out and going through quite a bit of trouble to do it. So 60-40 to us just sounds reasonable considering what you'd end up getting out of it.
So let me tell you something. I'm sure you've heard stories of the tourbillon, right? Some of you are from the north. And she like looks at Davos, who has like a little bit more of a tan to his skin, and then like she sees like, so she just kind of like looks around. She's like, maybe not all of you, but you have any idea what's down there?
Only death and destruction.
No, but again, we don't have to go. Like I said, we could just never go to the tourbillon and still be in a great spot,
I think after I tell you what I've been told about it, you might have your mind changed a little bit. There were 12 armadas sent back to scour the Skeleton Coast long ago, and it said that not only are there treasure maps detailing where some of the king's great treasure was stashed away to hide from these armadas, the armadas themselves rode in on ships of solid jade and emerald. It said that there are cursed items down there causing the torrent. Somebody believes that one of the most powerful weapons that this world could have ever known might have met its fate down at the bottom of that swirling vortex. There's at least 150 people in just one stretch of 10 years that have sailed their full fleets. Commanding officers sailing their fleets, too close to this thing, unable to maneuver out of it. The amount of riches that could be plundered and salvaged out of this, the amount of potential devil fruit users that met their fate down there. There's no telling if there's more value down there than there ever could be here on this surface. What's the One Piece? When you could...
But that's just all that stuff you said, that's what you're asking us to sail a ship into. A swirling vortex that has claimed the strongest weapon in the world, armadas of ships, and you want us to sail the ship in there?
To be fair, Bang, I'm pretty sure ships of solid jade are pretty heavy. They might have sunk on their own.
Look, man, that is not the point. The point is, things that have destroyed much more substantial vessels and provide extreme danger, not to mention all the danger that lies between us and getting there in the first place. And you think that's an even split? It's just not. I understand what you're saying about what's down there, but that being the case, like I said, what you'll get from 40% with our help is much better than whatever you can get from 100% by yourself.
So you see, there's one thing in common that all of those failures, have. They didn't have me on their side. And she kind of like she kind of like
excuse would work in any situation though.
and she's like, no, you don't understand. Like I've always been a little bit gifted. Where I grew up, you know, down below the red line, a little place called Fishman Island, you know, population of, you know, like a couple, you know, dozens of millions, you know, I was a champion swimmer.
Right. And as fantastic as all that is, that's why we're not talking about 70-30. I'm sure you're very impressive, and that's thus the extra 10%. I believe all of that. But you have to admit, there's just a large amount of inherent risk that we take to help you multiply your profits. And while this can be profitable for both of us, that risk has to be considered.
You see, it's not even about the money, really.
So are you looking for something specific?
Let's just make sure that whatever happens, I get first pick. 60-40 or
first pick, bang.
What? I know.
One thing
I know.
in specific.
I know, Dill.
if money's all you care about, I'll make sure that you get more than enough money than you could ever spend up here on the surface.
But for any good working relationship, there has to be at least a modicum of trust. Wouldn't you agree?
She kind of like looks at Dill and then like looks at the captain who's just like slaying away on the piano over there, and she just like looks back at you, Bang Dee Boom, and then like then over at Davos, and she's just like I think I've been nothing but trustworthy.
She told us she wouldn't come with us.
I wouldn't. I don't know about trustworthy, but to be fair, I haven't interacted with you that much. You know,
he's the one who lied, and she points at Dill.
I'm just gonna look at Dill like what did you do? I'm just like,
I told her that we didn't kill Malcolm, so that way she would come with us back to the port. And then whenever we were talking with Scarlet, we would tell her that we actually took care of Malcolm, and that would sweeten our percentage of the deal. But yeah, we took care of the person who had control basically of the Tourbillon. So we already took out our part of the deal. So
that fool didn't have control over anything.
Well, he had a big cannon aimed right at it at all points of the day. I'm pretty sure, as far as control goes, that's the most control anyone's had over it in years.
To be fair, he had you running and hiding in the desert, and he helped you out with that problem. So when you add that into the considerable risk that we've had, I had no knowledge of the prior behavior of my esteemed vice captain here. However, in general, as our discussion has gone, it's pretty reasonable, right? There's reasonable people among us, so I think we should be reasonable. And if you tell us what you're looking for, we can avoid any potential conflicts in the future. We may not even be we have no specific goals, and we're more than happy with receiving a large amount of profits or other useful items and such that could benefit us in the future. So even if you just tell me what you're looking for, the more information I have, the easier it is to make sure that we're fully equipped for our undertaking, if you understand, if that makes sense.
It's partly about the fame. Being the one who conquered it above all of those other failures, who got to claim all of the things that they squandered in their failed attempts. It's partly about competing in races. They always had me, spending my whole life swimming for gold medal here, gold medal there. And it's not about the gold. And she finishes her drink and slams it back down, and she's like, it's about the notoriety.
Oh, so you're doing this for the love of the game?
She's like, I'll go down in history as something more famous than even the tourbillon.
And what is that?
The person who conquered it, obviously.
See, that's something that we can definitely help with. If you haven't heard, we're pretty good at making the front page of the paper. We'd be more than happy to get you up there, get you all the credit and things like that. So what's wrong with 60/40?
She like looks over the paper. She's like, I don't see your names anywhere on here. What are you even talking about?
All right, you see those
shower the head.
I pull out Captain Shivers' skull. I said, this is Captain Shivers.
No, Davos did not just do.
There's a
Alright, I was already planning on doing it.
Yo, that is crazy.
Bangy Boom's just gonna go with the flow, not knowing he just had a head in his pocket.
Oh, I have multiple.
Oh my god. She just kind of like burps and then like kind of covers her mouth and like she's like, oh my god, what? You had that thing with you the whole time?
Yeah.
I guess we got used to the smell.
I would have had Malcolm's too, but it fell in some water, and I don't really like water.
Look, I promise he's much more useful in practical application. But it seems like all of our goals can be accomplished here. So
She's like, don't get me wrong. It's also about, being disgustingly rich and getting some gold and jewels and things like that. But
yeah. That's why our ship can provide you a place to put that, so you can go back down and get more, and then go back down and get more, and you'd have an insignificant amount compared to what you could get with us having a ship that'll hold all of it.
we just want to also be disgustingly rich after the costs we have of going through this endeavor,
Also, is there anyone around that can cook? I'm kind of hungry.
Jerry
Hey,
just like,
look how many ways we got to split 60%. You get 40%, you get 100% of 40%. Isn't that fantastic?
she's like 50. 50-50.
No.
40.
We're putting more into this than you are.
Well, no, you get 40%, plus you can take all the credit.
I've put my whole life into this, first of all, and she pokes you in the chest. Like she like literally like stands up and like approaches you and pokes you in the chest, like firm and hard, and goes, ow. Whatever. And she's just like, nobody's gonna believe that I conquered anything if somebody else is walking away with their biggest share.
Well, hey, that's why they'll never hear from us. We just let you get all the credit. How will they know that your 40% isn't the whole haul?
You just bragged about how you're all in the front page of the paper. Like, what do you mean? Like, and she just like waves the paper in front of your face, like as she like walks over to you.
Right. To your point, wait a second. Do you see any names in there? We could just as easily make it your name in there and not ours, but still have the endeavors there. And how are they supposed to know how much actually came out of there? Your cut could be the only thing they know about. You have all the fame and all the credit of conquering the Torbjorn, and you're also disgustingly rich. We're just trying to eke out a living here, that's why we need the 60%. Look how many people we got to bring to make this happen.
Yeah, but you gotta also account for the fact that when I have that much money, I'm gonna need to hire people who are able to protect me. So that's like gotta come out of my cut. Right. Y'all are,
that's a cost of doing business. After we go into the Torbjorn, we're gonna have to pay to repair our ship. It's the cost of doing business,
She just kind of like looks down at the ground and she's just like, I'm done with this conversation for now. And she like scans the room and she's just like, look, those guys know how to live it up. And she like walks over to here, like past this table, and she like approaches these individuals, and she's just like well, she sees them playing like a game where they have their empty cups, you know, like, and they're spilling dice out and things like that, and they seem to be like banging on the table, and there's a pile of gold that seems to be yo, what up, Balincc? But yeah, she seems to be staring at the pile of gold, and she kind of like wets her lips a little bit, and she's just like, hey, what's the name of the game? How do we play? And she like looks over to the rest of you, and she's just like, come on, increase our odds. So anybody who's willing to play this mysterious dice game over here, she's calling you over.
Oh no, I'm gonna ask Dill real quick about what he did.
Well, like I said, I told her that we didn't kill Malcolm and that he was still a looming threat that could take her out at any point. But it was in the hopes of getting on her good side of being like, yeah, we actually took him out. We actually dismantled their whole crew basically along the way, and then now we don't have to worry about getting shot by a cannon while we're sailing over there.
Okay. So that seems, I feel like that's not the only thing, because she seems very upset with you.
She also might be mad that when all negotiations broke down, I told Azrael to grab her and we threw her on the back of Rocky Beach. So that way she didn't have to walk across the desert. It was better for her.
Threw her like involuntarily?
Well, she didn't want to leave the cave and she tried to kill Orion.
Right. Okay. Well, as the vice captain, you know, I'm not one to question your decision making, even though that may not have been the route I would have gone personally. But let's say, like, for now, with the financial negotiations, maybe let me give the white glove treatment before we bring out the big guns, you know, good kind of good cop, bad cop type thing. But let me be the good cop.
I thought I was going for bad cop. That's why I was telling her she'd get 30%.
Right. But you got it. Right. But in this particular circumstance, good cop should probably come first. But, you know, hey, everyone's got a different approach. But maybe we reduce the kidnapping pre-negotiation. That might put us in a better spot.
Well, if you want to go try and warm her up, you can go play some dice with her.
Oh, no. Right now, we even let her cool off. Don't worry. She'll come back at 40%. Maybe we go 45%. But either way, to be honest, even if we take 50%, you got to look at it like this. Even if we take 50%, we're coming out of this stupid fucking rich. But 60% is what we should take. But
yeah, but what if there's only 10
really
things?
gonna walk?
What if there's only 10 things? And then but if she comes back up with only 10 things, that's 50%. That's five things for her, 5 things for us, and then we got to split that among all of us.
Well, part of her plan is to find Azrael at the bottom, and I've got my wonderful bag of holding, so they should be able to bring up plenty. Right. So I've already got the storage for the items figured out.
Just hear me out on this. What if she takes the weapon that's down there and uses that against us to take all of the treasure?
I'll dismantle the bag of holding, and all of her treasure will drop right back down into the ocean.
But then we'd have to go get it again.
No, we don't. We can just leave. We have money outside of
I get that.
Right, but it's much easier to take to take 50% of all, just like I'm telling her, it's better than her taking 100% of her share. Even if we take 50, even though I think we can get 60, 50 is still great.
No, but that's why it should be 70-30, because then 60 is still great.
Right, it's not justified. You see, This is the thing. You're trying to do strong arm business. We need to do
We're putting
reasonable
more
business.
into this than her.
Right. That's why we're getting 60.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. 70 is ridiculous. But 60 I think we can make work. Just give her some time to cool off. We'll chop it up with the captain and we'll go from there.
I'm gonna order another round for us from Jerry. So that's
You guys,
7.
What was that,
Well,
Davos?
hold on.
Said I think that sounds like a good bet too, as to what Boom just said.
You guys
I'm
see a
getting
bit of
us another
a
round.
you guys see a bit of a crowd forming around the table she went to, and she starts to hoot and holler and scream and like rakes in a big pile of like gold closer towards her, and she's like, oh yeah, let's go. And she just kind of like smiles and she's like, look, be a lady tonight. And all these dudes groan and they're just like, oh, all right, like, all right, well, how's about double or nothing? And she's just like, now you're speaking my language. And she's just kind of like dominating over here as a lot of the people start to crowd around.
Say, Harry, boy, who are all these new faces I see? Trustworthy folk?
Well, you see, it seems Phil, the merchant friend, you know, he had a few people connections that he, you know, made sure he called in, you know, whenever the economy here started to struggle a bit. He had phone a few friends. Some of them are merchants in their own right, distributors of things. Some of them are actually fair and by the book. Some of them are bounty hunters in their own, but they know not to really mess around here after what Phil's told them.
Interesting.
Also, bang dee boom, yes, Ragnar has like pretty much all of y'all's money. Like almost every penny that y'all had to y'all's names is now at the bottom of the tourbillon, actually.
Andy Boom didn't realize that. This is a different emergency mode. I'm about to hop back on the bird.
He goes fight or flight.
Yo, it's time to slide for the bag. Who's ready to go? It's time to slide for the bag.
Yeah, honestly, and the gears are spinning.
Oh God.
No,
I
I
don't
have
know who
the-
that was. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, I still have the egg. I have the Fabergé glass egg that Malcolm made. We could sell.
Yeah, fair enough. But all right. Hey, look, bro. We might have to take 50% on this. We got to get our previous bag back from this as well.
No, I still think we should tell her about 60, but she gets 40%. Because think about it, she doesn't know that he has all of our money.
Hey, look, sometimes it's about the ease of a process. If she puts her foot down and we get no money, we're not going to be good. I thought we would be good, but we're not going to be good. So look,
Davos has been pretty like tired this whole time, but like the gears are slowly spinning in his head, and he finally like is starting to get a little worried, and he's, you know, whatever you guys want to do is fine, but if we have a bunch of travelers over there, merchants to boot, we better get a move on, because what if she makes a better deal right now?
oh, wait, so what's up with the auction, by the way? Weren't we about to sell a bunch of the weapons and stuff we found? Like, previously? Maybe I'll ask when I just been here about that, but I agree with what Davos said.
I also
We should talk to the captain and come to an agreement, because if we're getting ready to set sail, we do need some money. So, yeah.
Softy boy kind of like looks over at the table that Holly's at, and he's like, well, she's talking to a lot of the deeper pockets, you know, that have came into the area. All but two of them, it seems. She seems to be doing a good job of, you know, making money, at least.
Hey, we'll call that her commission.
Takes
for
their
now.
money at this game. Tells them.
We got bigger problems. I'm gonna go to the captain. Wait for
Maybe
the
I'm
rest
just
of the
being
guys.
suspicious, but she takes their money now, tells them about the gold at the bottom of the sea, and then makes a bang-up deal for herself, just for them to get their scraps back.
I mean,
I feel like we got to get in this game.
do we seal the deal now, or do we wait and run this by the captain?
I think we have the captain approach her and have the captain talk to her. Because the captain can make a deal we can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
True.
Okay.
As another like little bit of time has passed by, she, you know, shouts again, throwing her arms up in the air, and like the whole like crowd seems to be a little bit shocked and awed. Some of the people at the table like playing with her seem to groan, and she's just like, "Oh, cheer up, fellas, you know, the next round's on me." And she like holds up a fist full of gold, and she like looks over at Jerry, and he just kind of like salutes and does like the little chin lift. Like he nods upwards, and he's just like, "I'm on it," and he's pouring like a bunch of like 5 or 6 that he's about to walk over there, and she's just like, "All right, who else is in? I don't know if these idiots have any more money," and some of them like stand up, and you see like some individuals rotate like off and on the table. We got Scarlet in the chat.
It was your crew, Captain. Need you. Bang's talking to you now, though.
Yeah. Well, to give you the short story, basically we're trying to seal this deal with Holly to go to the Torbjorn and get this treasure. And considering that Azrael has all of our money, I think that we should actually do this. Basically, what we discussed so far, I've said 60-40, she says 50-50. I'm gonna be honest with you, either way we're gonna make a bunch of money, but I think on principle 60-40 makes sense, and if you say 50-50, we can make that happen. So it's your call, or whatever you think the split should be.
Balincc is typing.
We risked our lives for this shit.
Oh my god.
Above board, it seems like he's just typing. I'm gonna go communicate that to Holly. In terms of like an actual dialogue thing, but we're gonna go on the word of the captain. I'm assuming she's played.
We should have the captain roll the persuasion if it comes up.
Oh my god. This guy with the metagaming. No, I get it. I get it.
Hey, it's technically him. It's technically Captain having the conversation. It's just.
I'm just go up to Holly and be like, "Hey, you got a quick second?"
She's like, "Oh, hold off, I'm on a roll, brother." She's just like, and you just hear her say, I'm feeling 27 right now, and all the people at the table are like, "There's no way, that's got to be impossible, right?" It's like, why does she keep calling so low, and how does she keep getting payout off of it? And like they just all like scratch their heads. One guy says like 56, another guy says like 70, and everyone's like, "Oh," and then like the next person is just like, "Oh, I can't bet that high." 48. and you see like the die, like a cup full of dice roll, and they're different like shaped and sided dice. And as they all start to like add up the total and whatnot, 29 is the total. After they like eliminate a few dice and re-roll one dice specifically, and she just like hoots and hollers, and she's just like, hell yeah, and she's just like, all right, yeah, you don't go anywhere, you're my good luck charm, and she like punches you on the shoulder, bang dee boom, and she's just like, all right, next round, I'm all in, and she like puts like the full pile of gold, like the little mountain that she's building on the corner of the table, she slides it towards the center.
I was gonna say like, hey, maybe you shouldn't bet all of that at once. Actually, never mind.
She's like, just watch. And they play another round, and they all start calling out numbers, and she looks at you and she's just like, what's your favorite number? It's gotta be higher than 6.
21.
Is that what you said, Bang?
Yeah.
And she just goes, all right, I'm trusting you. 21. And she like almost like seems to like sweat a little bit, and you can see like her get a little bit nervous, and the rest of the crowd goes silent. And everyone's just like, that's impossible. There's no way. We've been playing this game for years, and we've never seen a roll of exploding dice that low. And they start to roll the dice, and she's just like, oh, wait. Do it one at a time. And everyone just goes, ooh, and like leans in, and they roll a 4-sided die. And they roll a 6-sided die, an 8-sided die, a 10-sided die, a 12-sided die, and a 20-sided die. And after eliminating a few of them and re-rolling one of them, 24 is the total. And everyone gasps, and they're just like, oh my god. And they all start splitting up her pile of gold, and she starts to be a little, she crosses her arms, and she's like, all right, maybe you're not my good luck charm, but
maybe not in this game, but in your overall affluence in life, I think I'm fairly useful. Let's step to the side for a second. But
no. Hold on. I just lost big on this. I need to recoup funds. Give me what you got.
Oh no.
I'll give you double back. Like, I'm gonna win. I'm just not gonna take your advice anymore on the numbers.
Yeah, no.
Okay, what about, and she like points at like Dill, and she's like, what about you? You got something? Come on. I was on a roll.
I got the back of a rhino.
No, he doesn't. No involvement.
She looks directly across the table and gives the doe eyes to Davos, and she's like, all right, what about you? You can cover me for one round, right?
Too steep for my blood. I'm a simple spectator tonight.
Let me see what I got in my inventory. I'll put
If he wants to, I'll give Bang 10 gold, so that way he can do it.
No. Keep your gold, my good sir.
I just didn't want to do it. But
no, keep your gold, my good sir. What's the value of a spyglass? It's
a lot.
They're worth a lot.
Yeah, they're worth a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Above board, does someone else in the crew have a spyglass already?
I do not.
I think the captain, the captain has navigator tools, so I would assume that the captain has at least a littler spyglass.
Okay. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna put this glass dice set and some glass knuckles, like a set of those glass brass knuckles. I don't know what the estimated value is of those, but I would imagine it's at least decent.
And she just kind of like looks at them and like winces a little bit, and then she like opens her eyes wide and she's like, okay, I could work with this. And she holds it up to the light.
I'm gonna put my hand on the item and be like, but with these 64.
You just lost me a mountain of gold. If I can get it back,
that was a choice you made. You know, you asked me a question and I answered. You going with that number? Nothing to do with me.
If I can recoup my funds from this big loss, 60-40.
Well, the risk I'm taking is if you lose all my money from these items I could have sold, I'm just in the wind, huh? That at least puts
I think if
us
you win your money back, it should be 70-30. If you don't win your money back, it should be 60-40.
Aren't you supposed to be like the silent type or something? And she like shoots you glare, Dill.
I can make all of us silent.
I'm gonna look at Holly and be like, look, if you lose all my money, at the very least, we're at 55-45.
Look, you gotta be willing to place the bet sometimes. If I can get all this money back, 60-40, I'm fine with it, but I still get first pick.
We'll see. Let's see how you do.
She holds the glass knuckles up to the light up above her head, and she's just like, all right, gentlemen, it looks like we're working with this is lightning in a bottle right here. You won't find a work like quite this valuable anywhere else around these parts. Not many of these had to have been made. These were said to have been going out into distribution, but have been unforeseeably discontinued. This is a limited time item, and she like holds she gets like a little jeweler's loop, and she like looks into it, and she's just like I would say, with my expert appraising, that this has got to be easily worth maybe even 50 gold pieces. And then she's like, and these dice, I mean, this is quality. This right here is work that you can't replicate without a very, very particular skill set. I think these are maybe even potentially one of a kind. So we're looking at least 100 gold pieces here. And she's going to kind of like cross her arms, and she's like, what do you say? And like all of these individuals are like looking around the table like a little bit flabbergasted, and they all seem like sold. They're just like they're absolutely like, some of them like you could tell like Phil, the merchant friend from before, he's like almost like salivating at the thought of being able to like offload some of these, especially given the information she just gave all of them. And they all push forward their equivalent of 150 gold pieces into the pot. And she goes, now we're talking. And she looks at Davos, and she's just like, all right, spectator, I'm calling on you. And she's just like, if we're doing this together, right? Pick a number. Preferably higher than 21.
I gotta go with my current lucky 27.
She's like, oh, you guys are killing me. I was showing off before, but typically it's better to pick a higher number. You know how this game works?
Can't say I do.
She said, ones are duds, and they don't count towards the total. And if you roll the maximum value on the dice, it explodes. You roll it again and add it back into the total. We roll one of each kind of die, and whoever gets the closest without going over wins. And she's just like, are you sure about 27? Realistically, even if no dice explode, you can get up towards to about 54. The lowest you could possibly roll is 6, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
I guess let me send it on something random. Pulling it out of the void. Davos shuts his eyes. He's like, 41.
41. I think I can work with that. And the rest of the people make their bets. One guy says 69. One guy says like 80. And everyone's like, whoa. So like that means that one dice would have to explode. Actually, at least 2 dice would have to explode. Another person says 45, which is a very close bet to where y'all are at. And Holly's just like, oh well, wait. Let's see how these puppies roll. And she slides the glass dice towards the person who's rolling the cup. And she's like, and let's do this one at a time again, you know, just to give all these folks a good show. And they load up the glass, one of the D4 of the glass die, and they are going to roll it. It's a 3. And the D6. So that's 7 total. 9 total. It's actually looking pretty good. Ooh. 23 total. Because this dice exploded. So now we're at 34. And we still have to roll the D20. And everyone's got beads of sweat on their forehead, because if this is a low enough roll, Holly wins.
Let's go.
What's a 34 plus 8? I can't do math. It's 42. What did you guess? 41?
41.
Oh, dude, it went over. So 45 wins.
Guess over though.
No, the thing is the dice have to be like, if the dice exceed your bet, then you have to be the closest without going over. Oh shit! Oh wait, so you are that? Wait, no way.
They guessed 45 and they guessed over.
That is crazy, y'all. Like, you could literally hover over the dice and see exactly what the rolls are on all of these. Like the 10 exploded into it. This is crazy. Holy shit. Okay, so
what I'm hearing is 60-40 secures, right?
And she hands you back the glass dice and the glass knuckles, and she pockets her 450, and she's just like, not quite. I haven't made it all back yet. And she's like, but we're looking good. And then she points to Dill, and she's just like, all right, strong silent type that I wish you were. Like, what's your number?
63.
And everyone starts to bet like a little bit lower than that. You get like a 41 because they were feeling, you know, like that ride that, you know, y'all just had. You get like a 54, you get a 58, and y'all's is the highest bet at 63. And they start rolling again with the normal die. Oh my god. That is insane. That dice just exploded. Look, let me hover over this for the chat.
Wow.
That dice just exploded 4 times. That's insane. So that's actually 16 because ones are ignored. So 16 from that one, and now we go for 5. So that's 21 total. Oh my god.
What
There's,
is that?
there's no way.
That's a plus 20.
What was I at? I didn't lose count. 41.
So you're at 41 right now.
So one guy groans and it's just like fuck, like, and then like, and he knows he's out. He slams his fist on the table, and she smirks. That dice exploded too.
55.
Another guy like shouts and it's just like god damn it, and she looks at the guy who bet 58 and she's like, that means these both gotta be 2s or lower if you're gonna stay in this. And this guy's starting to sweat and he's just like, oh my god, and he's just like, oh, please and she just like she just like immediately is just like, well, that's it, we don't even need to roll the d20. And he's just like,
Yeah, that's 66.
he's just like, how's this possible? And he's just like, okay, what if I bet another 50 right now that this d20 explodes? And she's
I don't
like,
think it will.
she's like, that's, I'll take 50 on that. And she slides 50 forward after raking in all of their money. And he's just like, I need this. And he's just like, ah, and she's like, I'll take that. And she like gets another 50 off of this guy. And she's just like, we're on fire. All right.
That was a 78 through the game, by the way.
Yeah.
Seems like we're square.
She's just like, not quite. And she's counting it all up and she's just like, I haven't emptied all of their pockets just yet. And she points she points at Scarlet, directly looking right through you, Bangdy Boom, like you're transparent. And she goes, how is it, Captain? What's your what number are you betting? And I'm hoping that Balincc can hear me. Balincc. The suspense is killing me right now. Yo, this is actually like a crazy fun game. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro.
What does the dice exploding mean again?
If it hits the maximum value, it rolls again. So some of the, like that 4 hit the maximum value 4 times in a row.
So it just kept rolling and rolling and rolling.
Yeah, and 1s are ignored. And so you're looking to get the closest without going over the total of a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, a D12, and a D20. If they all land on their second to highest value, I think that the number would be 54. If they all land on a 1, then there'd be like literally like a 0. So it's got to be somewhere in between. Like, I mean, this just totaled out to a 78, but there was also like a 20 something that happened earlier. So just pick a number and we'll roll the dice and see.
What'd it do?
But yeah, that was, dude, it was so goated that the dice totaled up to 42 and 20. No way. Oh my god. Yo. Okay. She looks a little bit surprised and she's just like, y'all are killing me. 2.
Let's go.
4.
Let's go.
11.
All right.
Oh my god. There's no way.
16.
There's no way. What? That's ignored. It's still 16. Oh my god. Wait, so
13,
let's do
14, put this over.
What? 19 is the total, and everybody like is blown away right now. Everyone's just like, yo, I have never seen a roll so low before. And she's just like, looks at the captain as she clears out every single one of these people's pockets. And she's just like, 60-40 is fine. And
Fantastic.
she has just made easily over like 600 gold pieces, like which are worth quite a bit of berries at this point. At like,
I'm just gonna step up to the table and be like, gentlemen, I appreciate your contributions.
there
Hope
is
y'all have a
no
great rest of your
way.
night.
You know the probability of that though? Like honestly, like that is crazy. That is a sub 20.
Yeah, that was insane.
I was like biting my nails, dude. Like I have a grin from ear to ear right now. That was insane. Holy shit. So yeah, it's been a wild night of cleaning out these fools' pockets, and you guys have come to an agreement on 60-40, but she's firm on first pick.
Okay.
Davy Loans was at work tonight. That is hilarious. And speaking of Davy Loans, we are going to go back into the depths of the tourbillon itself, as Lord Azrael has probably been sneezing profusely, while these individuals have been talking about him. With your rolls, Ragnar, you got above average. You have been able to survive for a whole nother day, and you have recovered your glass lance. You have treated some of your wounds. You unfortunately are still unable to move 2 of your arms, but you are in a much better position now to be defending yourself, and you feel that survival could be very possible here. You just don't know where you're at. But you have also staved off 1 full level of exhaustion. So let me fix that on your sheet really quickly. So it's been a whole nother like 24 hours that you've been here. You've taken down maybe a couple of these like these things, these lamprey and these hagfish, and you understand that the hagfish are not good for eating, but the lamprey seem to filter out toxins, and they are actually edible.
I see.
What are your immediate thoughts after? Oh, you've also found a bit of a pattern to when these electrical surges take place. It seems to be more active for 8-hour bursts, and then it seems to be dormant, and you have a period of time where you're able to rest more at ease. So that is the result of your previous rolls. What is now going through your head?
Are any of these lampreys the one that I befriended?
No. That one ran away and actually got away. You remember seeing it like swim very, very far away, very fast. These were ones that were still slumbering underneath the ship that got eaten. The ones that were attacking you had specifically ran away.
So you said it's been 24 hours?
another 24 hours since you came back to consciousness, which means you don't know how long it's been since you were last in the sun. You're not sure how long you were unconscious for in the first place, but yes, it's been 24 hours since you made those survival checks at the beginning of this session. So another full day has passed.
Yeah,
I think you cut out, bro.
all right.
Oh, you got it.
So, what other than my lines, do I have any of my other supplies?
With your passive perception, there isn't much else you would have seen. You can go ahead and roll me a perception. And we'll see if you were able to spot anything else as far as recovering any of your other inventory items that might have been scattered around. I rolled it twice and you got the exact same result, which is crazy. Oh, you're doing you could guidance yourself if you wanted to roll a d4, which I'm sure you would want to do, right?
Yes.
He's like, I forgot. That doesn't require a spell slot. Okay, so what is the total here? So 11 minus 3 plus 1, so that's a 9. That is below average, but your passive is gonna, be the 13. You needed to beat the 13. You're not quite able to make out any other specific items, but you do see a number of treasured items that you remember having looted, and visions of the glass house and you being a little buddy cop and going through the barracks with Bang D Boom, and all of that flashes through your mind as you find a jammed up shotgun that you remember taking from an individual whose name was either Colt or Winchester. I can't remember.
It was Colt, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because Colt 45, and then the other one was like a Winchester rifle, and he was the sniper. But you find the shotgun. It looks like it is gummed up. It's like it is in terrible shape because it's been underneath water for like quite some time. It's definitely jammed. There's like some seaweed wrapped around the shortened barrel, and but you do have it, and you remember your compadre Bang D Boom, and you think immediately like if you can get this shotgun to him, you're sure he can repair it. Because you remember like running all them pockets with him in the glass house, and you've pieced together that the glass house is the last thing that you can clearly slightly remember. Not clearly though. So you have your lance, you have your shotgun. All of the shotgun is in desperate need of repair. But you haven't really recovered any other items that seem to be of any use. There's a few like barrels that have been cracked open, and there were like some crabs that were living in them. You got some sustenance off of those things maybe. But really the lampreys are the only like steady supply other than the algae and the seaweed. As you like are able to be a little bit more mobile now, you have no penalty to your movement speed, either above deck or in the water. At this point, you've kind of you've done a bit of recovering, although you are still exhausted. The electricity surges through all of the water beneath you, and you can see it's like when you walk down like the freezer aisle at a grocery store, how all of the like freezers like light up and then like dim back down, like in like a cycle. Like it seems from like from what appears to be like head to tail, there's just like a bright surge of light and like electricity. You can smell salt like thicker in the atmosphere, as you're aware scientifically that, you know, like running a current through saline water does wonders for electrolyzing things. Like you could potentially like take rust off of some items, and a few more of these lamprey and hagfish carcasses start to float up to the top, as they have been taking significant damage through each of these shocks, and they are deceased.
Yeah, there's a huge ass chain behind me.
Yes, there is. It seems to be covered in rust and algae.
And these starfish?
They're spiny, and these are give me a nature or survival.
You're asking me?
Yes. That's a history.
Do I roll on them?
You rolled a history. I was asking for a nature or survival. Oof. Yeah, these things, they look like there's not a lot of meat on them, and they look pretty crunchy. You're not sure if they're poisonous or not, but you have heard that some starfish can excrete acids.
Really?
Yes, that's absolutely true. I did my research for this one, guys.
Well, see, I want this chain.
Okay, and what would you like to try to do with it?
I want to wrap it around my arm.
Okay, like the ones that are not working, or around the ones that are working?
Hopefully the ones that are working.
Okay. All right, yeah, you'd be able to do that. Again, they're kind of like covered in like barnacles and rust and like algae and things like that, but you're absolutely able to do that.
Yes, I'm going to spend some time removing the algae. But other than that, I'll wrap it around.
All right. So it's kind of like a like an armor for your arms, like armor, you know. It feels pretty heavy, but you have gotten a little bit more energy back in you, so you're able to still mobilize at full speed with it.
I say, here, kitty, kitty.
Is this thing's just flopping around and it's just it's uncontrollably just, and then it falls beneath deck like through the floorboard hole.
Oh, how far away is the ground from here, Vex?
15 feet. You would be
pick it up with my lance.
Yeah, you absolutely can stab through it with your lance, with your long arms, and pick it up. So it is like just within reach. Like you have to kind of go to like your full stretch, and you're like, you think it for a half a second, you're not able to reach it, and then you just barely get there. And And yeah, you're able to recover this lamprey that you have now done some damage to. You notice it is still alive and kicking, but it doesn't seem to be much of a threat when it's out of water. But these things are incredibly resilient and actually have a shit ton of HP. I know you, and you are somebody who has an item called Torturer's Tools that they normally have with them, although you don't have them on you right now. But with using your lance, I figured you would have found that these things can take easily over a dozen direct hits from your lance before they actually, like, these things are tough. And remembering, like, now a little bit more, having some of them surrounding you and latched onto you before the large, you know, monstrosity approached you, you start to remember like bits and fragments of this. And you think that, like, knowing now how much damage these things can soak up, you were potentially fucked even then, even before the big baddie showed up. And now you have flashes in your mind of exactly what happened to you. As
It's your fault.
the big, huge red eyes, you wouldn't even be half of the size of, like, this thing's pupil. This thing has cavities in its teeth bigger than you as it swallowed an entire shipwreck whole. And you now have a recollection of exactly where you are.
I'm gonna look at the library. Be like, I'm here because of you. You did this to me. I'm gonna stab its mute point so it can't make any mouth noise.
And yeah,
I'm gonna be here and suffer forever. You'll be here with me.
oh my god.
And I'll stab it in all the points I know what I won't kill it, so I'll miss all the vital areas on purpose.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Let it stay alive.
Dill put Wilson in the chat. I am dead. Bro. Okay, so at this point, unless there's anything else you're wanting to do, we can call for another active perception. I'm assuming you're going to be looking around for your torturer's tools now that you remember you had them. And then we'll need those 3 survival again to see how you do for the next 24 hours.
The one that was down there that was cut in half and was trying to get me.
He's still there.
Doing?
Oh, he's bled out, and he seems to be not responsive.
Is it possible to do a check from here? Is that another thing?
So that is going to be actually a little bit closer. So once you drop down to, like, you would almost be able to reach where you're at right now. So actually maybe you need to get, like, a bit closer, but you would potentially be able to, like, check from a slight distance.
Lay down flat.
Okay. You can give me a medicine with advantage because this is aquatic life, and it is technically to potentially stabilize something. Unless you're just gonna shoot it. Oh my god, yo! So you just got an 18. That is absolutely high enough for you to realize that this thing is it no longer has any blood circulating throughout it, and these creatures 21 minus 3, which is an 18.
No, I got a 24 minus 3.
Oh, the first one. Okay, I didn't see that it rolled twice. My bad. 21.
Man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool, bro. 21 is able, that's even better. You're able to tell that these are creatures that live off of the blood of other creatures, and this thing has no blood of its own left, and it is completely deceased, but the meat of it still seems fresh.
Oh, I'll pick that one up then.
But yeah, these are parasitic creatures that you see the wounds on your left and your right, like on both of your flanks, underneath your arms, like on your chest area, where two of them had latched onto you and were like siphoning off your blood for a while before they all ran away. And you're starting to get more vivid recollection of maybe some of the other scars that you have. You remember in the glass house, now fighting alongside your captain and your brother in arms and your Helmsman, when you exploded a bomb through the floor, and the multiple cuts that you surely received while in your hulking form, and you remember your medicine that you don't seem to have any on you. But your memories are starting to come back now. One by one, little by little. So go ahead and give me another perception.
Okay.
And we'll see if you're able to recover some other things.
Son.
Yo, that's actually crazy. So that is more than enough, actually. You're able to notice, you do in fact spot your torturer's tools in a waterlogged like leather pouch, I'm assuming, like, or like a roll up or something like that, that seemed to just be floating on by, like along the side of the ship. They kind of like bump into like some of the carcasses that are floating up of the electrified like hagfish and like things like that, and you're able to recover your waterlogged torture's tools, and all of the metal seems to be still good, whereas any of the glass and the actual pouch itself are irreparable and completely lost. But the metal themselves, the tools, seem to be fine. You're also able to find, roll me a D100.
D100.
And this is because you rolled a bit above the DC that I was looking for the torture's tools. No. No way. No way,
What?
dude. That's crazy. There's no way.
What?
Hold on. Bro.
That can't be right.
Hold on, I'm losing it right now. What?
He rolled a 100.
That's insane, dude.
No. He didn't roll a 1D100. He rolled a 100.
Oh,
Rolled just now. It just
okay,
now rolled, but that's still a cracked roll.
brother.
Yo,
That is not even the first time you've done that to me. That is not even the first time you've done that to me. I should know better.
I had no idea. I was like, wait, what?
Okay. Oh, 87 is still.
I still did good.
Yeah, 87 is still really good. And we will figure out what the total party funds was minus Dill's what he had in his pocket. That the total amount that Lord Azrael had on him when he shot himself out of the cannon. We will calculate that before next session. And you will have 87% of that recovered because of this roll, which is pretty good. And
I'm
now
gonna see the funds and be like, I didn't want this shit. I'm throwing it on.
no. Yo, that's crazy. But I still need to see 3 more survival checks, and that will determine how you do for the next 24 hours before we close it for the night.
Okay, no problem.
You do not have advantage, but it's fine.
Advantage off real quick.
Yeah. So, and remember, we're getting an average here. So just because you just got a 5 on that one doesn't necessarily mean that you fail. You could get really high.
One.
You got a 5 on that first one.
I'm guessing guidance doesn't work with this.
I'll let you use guidance once for these. Oh, no. Okay. So that's a... Oh, no. Okay. So I'll actually... So I forgot to let you know that you could have guidanced on the first 24 hours. So I'll be generous and I'll let you use guidance twice for this 24 hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So one more D4. 26 total. That's cool. And we will find out the results of that and how Lord Azrael is doing with the next 24 hours next week, as we will close out the session here tonight. And I actually did not post a cover story in the Last Ark server, but I do have one that I wanted to read here after the events, just so everybody can kind of experience it. I think this one's pretty good. So we'll see exactly what's up with Lord Azrael next time and see how many more periods of 24 hours he needs to fully recover. Again, it's not really fully possible for you to gain the benefits of a long rest while you're constantly struggling and having to, like, you know, be aware of your you just kind of feel like you have to always be alert, and you're fighting for your life out here, brother. But you did stave off 1 level of exhaustion, and we'll figure out exactly what happens the next 24 hours next time. The crew had a wonderful night of gambling and striking up a deal. 60-40, Holly gets first pick. And everybody seems mostly okay with that. For there were some reunited, you know, like long lost NPC friends that we got to see again after I think like almost a dozen or like maybe 2 dozen, you know, sessions since we had seen them last. And all of that took place in the course of a week, as you guys did get to read the new issue of the World Economic Newspaper. So lots of interesting things happening, lots of more information that is being put down. And yeah, crew, if you guys had anything else you wanted to say before we close it out to the chat, go ahead.
Yeah, W session, make sure to follow the Last Ark.
W session, make sure you share around with everyone. Group 2 solos, Lord Azrael solos, W calls on all the numbers for all of us.
Yo, this was crazy, dude.
Yeah, that was an awesome bar game. That was so much fun.
Dude, that 19 killed me. I was like, there's no way, dude. Like, that was insane.
Know what happened? I'm the king.
I'll explain it to you. Yeah, I'll explain it to you in a bit, Balincc. This was crazy, honestly. And we got to know a little bit more about Holly. We got a couple of name drops here and there, and saw how the world kept turning while you guys were crawling through the red sand. Pray for Davy Loans to have mercy on Lord Azrael's soul. But yeah, this has been crazy. This has been this was honestly a super fun session for me. I was like super nervous about a lot of things. Like I was literally on the edge of my seat at so many different points in this session. So chat, we hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. Make sure you like the stream. Hop in the TLA server if you want to be a part of your own D&D stuff. Hop in my server if you want to interact with me more on the daily. I'm in there pretty regularly. And if you're a part of the first 100, you get exclusive role and access to the VIP lounge. You can see all of the Scarlet Pirates in there too. Yeah, so it's a good time. I've got a crazy hype stream that's going to be happening this Friday at I think 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. CST, where I'm going to be making a One Piece D&D character for King Recon himself. We got Coach coming aboard, bro. It's going to be absolute fire. If you caught the first one where I made Saint Holy Moly and a mole mink with the magma fruit and an afro. It was absolutely goated. Go peek that, where I had Dak Sake on and I made him a One Piece D&D character. It was a lot of fun. This next one's going to be less scuffed and it's going to be equally as hype, I think, because we have the absolute hype beast himself. We love Coach. I'm going to be wearing a Santa hat of my own and a jersey, just so I can but yeah, it's going to be absolutely wild. But I've been blabbing on enough. I'm going to go ahead and get to the cover story, which should be a good one, I'm thinking. Interior, a raucous and lively bar. Too new to have acquired any dust on any of its features, but somehow there was a fresh film on most every surface in the rowdy establishment. Two men wait patiently to be served, while a familiar melody enveloped the atmosphere. They shifted their gazes into the periphery of their exchange, back and forth in between each pressing of the piano keys. They were both counting. As the bar filled up, they became somehow even louder. Their drinks finally arrived, but neither took a sip. There's more of them than we thought here, Goddard. And the fishman isn't with them. We shouldn't waste any more time, though. It's not certain we'll get another chance like this, right? The larger man noted as the mustached man nodded in agreement. The man doing all the talking used his right hand to push up a tiny pair of glasses that were sliding off of his nose as he let out a sigh. The lady said we gotta make it look like an accident, so we can't have any of these looky-loos getting away either. Why'd it have to be such a busy night? Both of the men finished their drinks and slowly stood as they faced towards a familiar bunch. The larger man struggled to fit back into his jacket, while the mustache man cracked his neck in preparation. To be continued.
Is that current events?
We'll find out next time.